So now it's time for the session or the knowledge sharing, that is about the civil service examination. So let's see what are the important points that I would like to share with you and what are your takeaways from this particular session. Let's see that. So civil services examination. It is one of the most prestigious and competitive exams in India. So you all know about it. So I'm not saying that this is the only prestigious job in the country. No, all jobs have its own respect and its own prestige, its own competitiveness, its own dignity, right? All jobs, every jobs that people are doing, all jobs are having that actually dignity. So from British time period onwards, we are having the civil servants in our country. So from that time period onwards, people are actually looking at this particular job as the most competitive and also the most prestigious one. So we are actually continuing with that. So whenever I talk about the civil service examination, I think three important services will come to your mind. Indian Administrative Service, that is IAS, Indian Police Service, that is IPS, and Indian Foreign Service, that is IFS. So these three services, most probably it will actually come to your mind. But apart from all these three services, we have other services also. That is why it is called as UPSC Civil Services Examination. Now the question is, who is actually conducting this examination? So this examination is actually conducted by UPSC. UPSC means Union Public Service Commission. Union Public Service Commission is a constitutional body, which means it is mentioned in the constitution. Its functions are mentioned in the constitution. So it is clearly in detail, it is mentioned in the constitution. That is why it is called as it is a constitutional body, and they are actually conducting this civil services examination. So in your own states, you will be having state public service commissions. So they will be recruiting people for government jobs in that particular state. Same like that for the government jobs which are actually applicable in the entire country, the UPSC will be doing the recruitment. Okay, so let's see why it is actually called as civil services examination. So civil services examination includes multiple posts. Okay, multiple services are involved in this. So Indian Administrative Service, Indian Foreign Service, Indian Police Service, Indian Audit and Account Service Group A, Indian Civil Account Service Group A, Indian Corporate Law Service Group A, Indian Defence Estate Service, Indian Postal Service, Indian Railway Protection Force Service, Indian Revenue Service, that is the Customs and Indirect Taxes, Indian Revenue Service, that is the income tax, then Indian Trade Service. So like that, many services are actually included in this civil services examination. So when they are conducting the examination, when you are getting into the ranks, that means if 1200 ranks are there, if you are actually there in any of these ranks, you will get any of these jobs. If you are actually coming into top ranks, you will get IAS, IFS, IPS, etc. And if you are opting for any other services in being in the higher ranks or something, you will get that service also. Suppose you are getting first rank and you wanted to go for IPS or IRS, definitely you can actually go for that. So this is how the examination is scheduled, or the examination recruitment is actually scheduled. So this is called as civil services examination because many services are included in that. So from now onwards, if somebody is asking you about civil service examination, it is not just about IAS, IFS, IPS. It has many other services included. Okay, so please keep that in your mind. And now I have actually given a Labasna picture in the right corner. Why I have given this? Because your training will be happening in Labasna. Okay, so now what is this Labasna? Please try to understand about it. You can actually Google it. You will get the full form of Labasna, LBSNAA. Please try to understand about it, and where is it located also. Try to understand about it. Okay, that's a task I am actually giving you through this live session. So are you eligible to write the examination? That's another question. So I don't know whether you are a school student or a college student or a working professional or an active aspirant of civil service examination. I don't know about it. But if you are somebody who has attained the age of 21, who has got a degree from a recognized university in India, who is an Indian citizen, you can definitely appear for this examination. So that is what is listed here. The nationality for the exam, that is, you must be a citizen of India and a person of Indian origin or a subject of Nepal, Bhutan or Tibet settled in India before 1st January 1962. So that is the first criteria regarding the nationality part. Then the second criteria is regarding the education, that is, a candidate must hold a graduate degree from a recognized university. So from a recognized university, if you are having a graduate degree, you can definitely appear for this examination. Now the last one is regarding the age limit. So the candidate must be minimum 21 years of age and maximum not more than 32 years of age, and that is the general age limit for this examination, 21 to 32. But there is actually relaxation in that. Category wise relaxation and eligibility is there in this examination, so we'll see that. So category wise eligibility is like for general category and EWS, 32 years is the maximum age that you can actually write, and you will have 6 attempts. For OBC, other backward caste with certificate, you can actually write the examination till 35 years of age, and maximum number of attempts is 9 attempts. For SC ST, 32 years plus 5 years you will get, and unlimited attempts will be there, and like that the category wise eligibility is actually given there, so you can actually watch and you can read about it later. Okay, what is the category wise eligibility for this examination, you read about it later. So only thing that you need to understand is there is eligibility to write this examination. Okay, eligibility is needed to write this examination, that is what you need to understand. And now my point is, they may be giving you 6 attempts, but please don't think that I will actually write all these 6 attempts and in the 6th attempt I will be clearing the examination. Please don't think like that. Always your aim, always your objective should be your first attempt should be your last attempt, and it should be your best attempt. Okay, first attempt should be your last attempt and it should be your best attempt, which means in the first attempt itself you should be able to clear the examination. So some people will actually go and write the examination, they will attend the examination just to see, okay, how is it, just to see the environment of this examination. So please don't do that, you're actually losing one attempt. If you want to check how the examination is, you can actually go and check the previous year's question papers. You will be able to understand what type of questions it will come. But if you want to experience that environment, you prepare really well and go and write the examination. Okay, don't just go there for actually experiencing this. If you are a serious candidate, okay, please don't lose your attempts. Okay, so please keep that in your mind. Now, how many stages are there in this examination? Okay, so for the civil service examination, how many stages are there? So generally speaking, if you are actually looking at this examination, you can see that they will be having 3 stages. Okay, 3 stages means the first stage is the preliminary examination, the second stage is the main examination, and the third stage is the interview or the personality test. But regarding the marking part, if you are actually looking at, you can see that the first examination is the preliminary examination, the second part is written examination, that is the mains examination plus the personality test, because your rank is actually determined by your marks in the main examination and interview. Okay, so effectively if you speak, you can actually see 2 stages, but because it is actually conducted in 3 different time periods, we can say that 3 important stages are there: preliminary examination, main examination and interview. Okay, now what is this preliminary examination? So preliminary examination is mostly the objective type examination, and the main examination is written, which means descriptive, you need to write it. So through this examination, the examiner will understand what is your perspective, what is your opinion, and what is your inclination. All those points they will be able to understand through your answers, because you are actually describing it, you are giving your opinions. And in the interview, definitely the interviewer will be able to understand what you think, what is your belief system, or what type of person you are. All those things they will be able to understand through that conversation, right? So these are the 3 important stages of this examination. Now let's see each stage in detail. The first stage is the preliminary examination. So this thing you can actually keep in mind. Every year on an average, I'm not going with the accurate information, but on an average around 10 lakh people will actually apply for this examination, preliminary examination. And out of that 10 lakh, almost around 4 to 5 lakhs people will appear for the examination. So out of this 4 to 5 lakh people, only around 15,000 people will be selected for the main examination, which means this preliminary examination is really crucial. Okay, the most number of people are actually filtered out in this particular stage only, preliminary examination. So now what is this preliminary examination? It actually consists of two important papers, General Studies 1, GS1 and GS2. It actually carries 400 marks. For these two papers, it carries 400 marks. So these are all compulsory papers and it is actually objective in nature. The examination is objective in nature. So what do you mean by this objective question? So you will have a question and you will be having 4 important options. So out of that 4 options, you can actually choose which is the correct one. And in the OMR sheet, you can actually bubble that also. That's it. You don't need to write anything in this particular examination. It is only you are selecting it. Okay. So that is objective type exam. Now for the GS1, you will be having 200 marks. For GS2 also, you will be having 200 marks. And there is negative marking also involved. That is, 1/3 of the marks assigned to a question will be reduced if you are actually going wrong in any of the questions or answers. And what is the medium of the examination? In the question paper, if you see, on the one part, the questions will be written in English. On the other part, the question will be written in Hindi. So, which means you will get questions in Hindi and also in English. Okay. Now, the marks, let us try to understand. General Studies 1, that is objective, 100 questions will be there and it is out of 200 marks and 2 hours will be there and negative marking is involved. General Studies 2, that is CSAT, Civil Services Aptitude Test, objective paper, 80 questions will be there, 200 marks, 2 hours, negative marking is involved. So the most crucial thing that you need to understand here is General Studies 2, that is CSAT paper, is a qualifying paper. Qualifying paper means if you qualify this paper only, your other papers mark will be evaluated. So your General Studies paper 1 mark determines your entry into mains. It is not the CSAT mark determines the entry into mains. The General Studies paper 1 mark will actually determine the entry. But you have to qualify the CSAT paper to consider you for the main examination. Okay, if you are actually failing in the CSAT paper, and suppose if you have written really well, you might be getting 150 mark in the General Studies 1 paper, but you failed in CSAT, which means you actually failed in preliminary examination. You are not getting entry to the main examination. So you cannot take this lightly. CSAT, you cannot take this lightly. You need only 33% mark for actually qualifying this. 33%, not more than that. Okay, for the other one also, General Studies 1 also, it is actually out of 200 marks, but mostly the cutoff will be around 90, 95, 85, 100 and all. So which means 50% will be the maximum cutoff, mostly will be the maximum cutoff. You don't need to get 90% mark or 95% mark in this examination. If you are able to get 55% or 60%, you will definitely clear this examination. Okay, so that is the importance of this. Please try to understand about it. They are not expecting a person who knows everything and scoring 100 out of 100. No. They are actually expecting a person who can be trainable. Okay, that's it. Okay, so please keep that in your mind. 50% will be the maximum cutoff for this particular examination. Sometimes it may go little more and sometimes it may go little less also. Okay, so this is regarding the preliminary examination. So it is a one-day exam, 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon. Now, this is a sample question for the preliminary examination. The General Studies 1 preliminary examination sample question. So, I have already told you that they will be asking questions like the one question will be there and 4 options will be there. But here, if you look at the question, you can see that from consider the following statements to which of the statements given above are correct, all these are actually questions only. Which means 3 important statements are given and out of that statements, you need to find out which are the correct statements. For understanding this, for arriving at the right answer, you need to have an idea about all these 3 statements, right? So That means you have to have a comprehensive understanding about the syllabus. Then only you will be able to arrive at the answer. You will be able to do that. You will be able to study that because you will get enough time to study. To prepare for this examination, you will get enough time. So whenever you are preparing for this examination, always keep a comprehensive outlook for approaching this exam. Okay, so understand the details about it. Okay, so that you can actually evaluate it and you can actually analyze it in a better manner. So this is the type of question that you can expect. This is the question from Indian polity or Indian constitution. So the answers options will be like 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2, 3 only. So which means sometimes it will be confusing for you. But if you know some techniques like elimination techniques and all, you will be able to arrive at the right answers. Okay, so this is a type of question for General Studies 1. Now this is a type of question for General Studies 2, that is CSAT. So in the CSAT, they will be checking your mental ability, they will be checking your mathematical aptitude, they will be checking your English comprehension, etc. Okay, so this is a qualifying paper, we already mentioned about it. And how many questions will be there? 80 questions will be there. Okay, now the question is like this: A, B, C, D, E, F and G are members of a family consisting of 4 adults and 3 children, 2 of whom, F and G, are girls. A and D are brothers. A is a doctor. E is an engineer married to one of the brothers and has 2 children. B is married to D and G is their child. Who is C? So for reading it will be easy, right? It is easy to read. But to arrive at the answer, you need to think a lot. Brainstorming is actually required. Sometimes you need to draw a triangle, or you need to draw a circle, you need to draw a rectangle, and you need to find the connections, right? Who is A, who is B, who is D? You have to find the connections. After finding the connections from this question only, you will be able to arrive at who is C. It will take some time. Okay, it will definitely take some time. And this is their objective also. UPSC's objective is the same only. You have to take some time. Then only you will lose time, so that you won't be able to attend all the questions. Right? Then it will be easy for them to filter out you from the examination. So how many questions are there? 80 questions are there. If you are actually spending 10 minutes for one question, you won't be able to attempt more than 12 questions in the whole examination. Right? So if you are attending 12 questions, you won't pass the exam also. So that is the crucial aspect regarding this exam. So for clearing this, you need to have proper practice. You need to have proper practice. Okay, through practice only you will be increase your speed. You will be able to increase your thinking ability. You will be very swift. You will be very fast in actually thinking and arriving at the right answer. So practice is really required in this examination. Not only for this CSAT examination, for GS1 paper also it is really important, and more than that, for mains examination it is very important. Okay, practice is very important. That is why most of the civil service aspirants will be attempting the mock test. You might have heard about mock test, no? So a lot of mock tests or practice tests will be coming. So people will be attending the mock test or practice test because they wanted to increase their speed and they wanted to analyze where they actually stand. They want to understand their competitiveness. That is why they are actually doing that. I hope it is clear till now regarding the civil services preliminary examination. Okay, are you able to understand it well? If you are able to understand it really well, please do put it in the comment section that I am able to understand it. Yes. Okay, just put yes if you are able to understand it, or if you are finding any difficulty, or if you would like to ask questions also, you can actually ask in the comment section. Okay, so that is regarding the preliminary examination. So it is only a sample questions. You will have questions like the mathematical questions will be there, the mental ability questions will be there, the syllogism type of question will be there, and you will be also having the comprehension, that is English comprehension type of questions will be there, decision making kind of questions will be there. So all those questions will be there in the CSAT examination. Now after you finish the preliminary examination, we are actually coming and understanding about the main examination, the preliminary main examination, which is descriptive in nature. So see how many papers are there. Paper A, paper B, paper 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So total 9 papers are there, right? So 9 papers are included in the civil services main examination. The first paper, that is paper 1, paper A, is actually compulsory Indian language. So whichever language you are actually comfortable with, you can actually choose that language. Okay, Indian language. Then the paper B is English. Okay, English understanding they wanted to know. And paper 1 is actually essay. Okay, so they will ask essay questions and you will be able to give essay answers. So generic questions can be asked in this particular paper. Now coming to paper 2, that is General Studies 1, General Studies 2, General Studies 3, General Studies 4. Okay, these are the areas in which we actually study multiple subjects, that is history, geography, economy, Indian polity, environment, international relations, internal security, science and technology, disaster management, art and culture. All these subjects are actually discussed in these general studies papers only. So see how many hours you will actually get in this examination. For each paper you will be getting 3 hours. And if you see the marking also, the first 2 papers it actually carries 300 marks and the other papers actually carries 250 marks. So after all the general studies papers, you have optional paper also, optional 1 and optional 2. Okay, optional papers are actually chosen to enhance your marks, to increase your mark in the examination. So basically optional paper should be one subject you will be actually choosing in the optional paper, and that one subject will be divided into 2 papers, that is optional 1 and optional 2. If you are choosing economics, then economics will be divided into 2 papers. If you are choosing politics and international relations, politics and international relations will be divided into 2 papers. That's it. So if you are actually confident about that optional paper, you can actually score good marks in that. And that mark will also be added to the general studies marks. Then your rank will be different. So always make sure that you choose the right optional. So now let us see what are the subjects included in each of these general studies papers. So general studies 1 paper, what are the important subjects coming in that? You can see that Indian heritage and culture will be coming there, history and geography of the world will be coming there, society will be coming there, art and culture will be coming there. So all those subjects will be covered in general studies 1. So here if I ask a question like, okay, suppose if there is a question on Indian national movement, in which general studies paper it will come? Definitely it will come in the GS 1. If there is a question on Bharatanatyam, where it will actually come? If there is a question on the geography, that is the physiographic division of India, where it will come? All these questions will come in the general studies 1 paper. Okay, now coming to general studies 2 paper, it is mainly connected with the government, constitution, polity, social justice and international relations. Okay, mainly connected with that. So if there is a question related to fundamental rights, you can actually get it in general studies 2. If there is a question related to India-Russia relations, you can get it in the general studies 2. Now general studies 3 carries the technology, science and technology, economic development, biodiversity, environment, security, disaster management, etc. So suppose if they want to ask a question about the national income, they will ask in general studies 3. If they want to ask a question about the biodiversity hotspots in India, they will ask in general studies 3. If they want to ask about the Chandrayaan technology or Chandrayaan mission, they will actually ask in the general studies 3 paper, right? So these are the different subjects which are actually coming in general studies paper. And in the last paper, you can see that general studies 4 paper, you can see that it includes ethics, integrity and aptitude. So as a civil service officer, you are going to serve the people, right? You should not engage in any kind of malpractices, corruption or something like that. You are not supposed to do that. Okay, they have actually recruited you to go and serve the people, and it should be in the right manner, it should be in the right way. For that they will be paying you salary, and that salary will be given to you from the tax money of the people only, right? So you need to have certain quality, you need to have certain ethics, integrity, etc. All those things you will be actually studying in general studies paper itself. So while preparing for that examination itself, you are actually understanding what all qualities and values are actually needed for you. Okay, so after that, when you become the civil service officer, you will get training. Okay, thorough training you will actually get, and there also they will train you how to behave, or how to what are the important things that they are actually expecting from a civil service officer. All those points they will actually discuss with you, so you will understand that. So these are the important general studies subjects in the main examination. I hope it is clear. If it is clear, you can actually put yes in the comment section. Okay, so I hope it is clear, right? So very good. So history, geography, society, governance, polity, constitution, international relations, science and technology, economy, biodiversity, environment, internal security, disaster management, all these subjects you should be having an idea. So now here you are only seeing it as a subject name, but in the syllabus it is clearly given what all things you need to study from each of these subjects. Okay, so please try to read the syllabus. Please try to understand the syllabus. So when you are preparing for civil service examination, you will get a lot of advice regarding you have to study everything under the sun. No need for that. So you are going to write an examination which is actually based on a syllabus. So based on the syllabus you study, you will be able to clear this examination. Clear? So you don't need to study everything under the sun. You don't need to read everything that you are actually getting. No need to do that. Even in the newspaper also, you should not go through all the newses. If you want to, you can actually do that, but from the perspective of civil service examination, you don't need to go through all those newses. There are relevant newses for you which are actually connected with the static syllabus. That only you read. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Okay, so this is regarding the general studies paper. Now coming to the sample question regarding the main examination. So this is a sample question. I can actually read a question, that is, why did the armies of the British East India Company, mostly comprising of the Indian soldiers, win consistently against the more numerous and better equipped armies of the then Indian rulers? Give reasons. So all of us will be having an idea about this question, because here they are saying that the local rulers during British time period, they are having a very large army or a military strength. But on the other hand, if you look at the British military, they are small, they are very less, but they consistently win against these local kings. Why? So one answer may be it is regarding the weapon, the sophisticated weapon they are actually using. One may be their diplomatic strategies they are actually using. One may be the discipline they are actually having. One may be the hierarchy in the military they are actually having. So many reasons you can actually come up with. And please understand this carefully. When you are writing answer for this, everybody's answer will be different. Right? Your perspective will be different and another person's perspective will be different. Sometimes you may support the local rulers, sometimes you may oppose the local rulers. So basically your perspective, your opinion, your thought process, everything can be understood from that answer itself. Right? So here, if you want to write this answer, you need knowledge and you should be able to analyze it and should be able to evaluate it and give it in the best possible manner in the paper. So whenever you are attempting the mains questions, please make sure that whatever you are writing, you should be able to justify it. If you are able to justify it properly, then you will get marks. But if you are confused while writing itself, you are confused, they will also understand it, that you are confused. You do not have that clarity regarding this particular question. And always stick to that content, what is actually required, what they have actually demanded in the question, what they have demanded. Stick to that only. Okay, you don't need to go and write all the unnecessary things. No need to do that. What is actually necessary, what is actually required in that question, please address that only. Okay, so this is a type of question that actually came in a previous year's question paper. So some other questions are also given there. So this is the type of question. So which means you need to have the knowledge and you should be able to comprehend it. You should be able to analyze it and put it in the paper with your own justification. Okay, this is regarding the main examination. Now we already discussed about the optional paper. What type of optional subjects are actually available? What type of subjects you can actually choose as an optional paper? Let's see that. So here these are the number of the subjects available, and also literature is also available. So you can choose any of these subjects for the optional paper. Suppose if you are choosing political science and international relations, that subject itself will be divided into two papers. paper 1 and paper 2. If you are choosing law, if you are choosing history, if you are choosing geology, or if you are choosing Assamese, or if you are choosing Malayalam, or if you are choosing Kannada, so all these literatures or subjects will be divided into 2 papers, and you can focus on that. Always keep this in mind that whenever you are actually choosing an optional paper, please don't think about which is the most scoring paper and all. Okay, always think about whether you are able to learn that subject properly. Do you have interest in learning that subject? So that matters a lot. If you do not have interest in learning that subject, what will happen? After some time, you will feel it very boring. Okay, and if it is very boring, after some time, you will actually fed up of actually learning that. And that will reflect in your overall mark in the main examination. Okay, so always people are actually choosing this optional subject for one purpose, that is to increase their marks in the main examination, because main examination mark plus the personality test mark, that is the interview mark, will decide your rank in the civil services examination. So once you clear the main examination, so in the beginning I have told you that around 15,000 people will be selected for the main examination, and out of this 15,000 people, they may need around 3,000 people for the interview. So the rest of the people will be filtered out there, and this 3,000 people will go for the interview, and out of that, how many posts are available, based on that they will actually put the rank list also. Maybe it is 1,000, 1,100 or 1,200, etc. Okay, so they will put the rank list. So this is how the examination goes, and these are the important 3 stages of the examination: preliminary examination, main examination, and interview. So I hope it is clear. Okay, if it is clear, please put yes in the comment section. Okay, in the chat section, you can actually put yes. You are clear about it, right? So what all things we have actually discussed in this session? We discussed about what is general introduction about the civil services examination and why it is actually called a civil services examination. What is the eligibility required for the civil services examination? What are the different stages of the civil service examination? And all those stages we actually understood it in detail. So now if you are a beginner, I hope you might be having a clear idea about how the examination is. Now, the most important aspect regarding civil service examination is the foundation for that. Now I am telling you, if you are a beginner, the foundation is 2 important things. One is NCERT subject. Okay, NCERT subject from class 6 to class 12, and newspaper. Every day newspaper you have to read, and you should not read all the news. Okay, based on the syllabus, what is required for you, read that. So sometimes if you have around 150 news in a newspaper every day, 100 news or 150 news in a newspaper, you don't require to read all those 150 newses. You may need to read around 15 to 20 maximum news. That is required for you for this civil service examination. That is what is connected with the syllabus also. The controversies, you don't need to read that. Okay, but if there is something related with the government policy, if there is something related with the economic policy, if there is something related with the international relations, if there is something related with the science and technology, you have to read it. If there is something related with an archaeological excavation, if there is something related with a geological phenomenon or a geographical phenomenon, you have to read it. Okay, so how you are actually choosing it? You are actually looking at the newspaper from the subject point of view, right? So in order to understand that, in the Academy's YouTube channel, every day we will be posting the daily news highlights. So if you are actually following that for some days, you will be able to understand what type of news you have to choose in every day's newspaper. So newspaper is actually a document which includes all the subjects. Every day you are actually dealing with all the subjects. You can see news related to polity, you can see news related to history, geography, environment, international relations, internal security, science and technology, disaster management. All these subjects news will be available in the newspaper. That is the importance of reading newspaper. So every day please read newspaper and read NCERT. So we will have an exclusive session for how to read NCERT and also how to read newspaper, okay, in the upcoming session. So I hope whatever I have discussed today regarding the foundations necessary for the civil service examination is clear for you. If it is clear, you can actually give me a thumbs up. Okay, you can say that yes, it is clear. You can just type clear in the chat section or in the comment section. Okay.